In this brief Excel tutorial, we're going to explore how to create a linear best fit line in Excel, and then how to extract the fit parameters, including their uncertainties. So let's start with this data that we have of mass versus speed. We've already plotted it here. It looks like we have, so speed versus mass, we have a nice linear relationship perhaps, and we'd like to see what the best fit line is. And so we can get our best fit line by clicking on Add Chart Element, and then go down to Trend Line. And you can pick different trend lines, and we can see the linear here. I'm actually not going to click on linear. I'm going to click on More Trend Line Options, which will bring up our sidebar. And so here we can change the trend line that we want to choose. We definitely want linear. It's already selected and displayed for us. We can also change some options down a little bit lower. We can click to display the equation on the chart, which could be useful. If we wanted to set the y-intercept equal to 0 or not, we could do that as well. There's also some other useful things in here. If you click on the paint bucket icon here, you can change the way your trend line works, or looks rather. And so if I click on this paint bucket, I can change its color to say black. And over to dash type, I can change it so it's not dashed, so it's a nice solid line. Makes our best fit line looks a little bit better. And so you can change other features of your best fit line down here as well. Let me close that sidebar. So when I use the best fit on my graph, I get my slope and my intercept for my linear best fit, but I don't get the uncertainty in those parameters. I have to do something more to get the uncertainty, and I have to use something new in Excel called an array formula. To do an array formula, I have to first select 4 cells here instead of my usual 1. And then I'm going to start typing like usual, if I were typing a usual formula. I'll type equals. And the built-in function in Excel that we're going to use is called line_st. So line_st, open parentheses. And then it tells me to first pick my known y values. So my known y values are the speed values, so I'll click and drag those, comma. Then I pick my known x values, so I'll click and drag those, okay, comma. But then line_st also requires 2 additional parameters. I have to say whether I want the y-intercept to be equal to 0 or not. I don't want it to be equal to 0, and so from this I'm going to write true there, where b is calculated normally, the y-intercept. And then the other piece of information I need to say is whether I want the additional information about the uncertainty in the fit parameters. And I do, that's why I'm doing this, so I have to type true here as well. Now, before we click enter, you do not want to actually click enter in this case. So let me end parentheses. For an array formula, I have to press Control, Shift, and enter. And then that populates all 4 of the cells that I had highlighted. And so here I have some information. I've got my best fit slope on this box. And so I've given you a box up here which shows you what Excel is calculating for you in this case. And so this is the slope, this is the intercept, this is the uncertainty in the slope, and this is the uncertainty in the intercept. And we can see the slope and intercept match up pretty well with what was given on our chart, except now with a little bit more detail and a little bit more information associated with it. You notice that the uncertainty in the y-intercept here is much larger than the y-intercept itself, which means it looks like the y-intercept is consistent with 0. So that's a brief introduction to how to use best fit lines in Excel.